Helping your loved ones spot a scam before their bank accounts are drained. Yesterday, we told you about the takedown of a grandparent scam operating out of the Dominican Republic with the help of runners in Massachusetts. 13 people were arrested, but not before over 400 victims lost their money. So how can you keep your loved ones safe? Jared Wilbur of Washington Trust is here to talk about that. So Jared, thanks for being here with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now, we often hear of these scams, and we've been hearing about them for years. The banks, are you guys surprised that this is still happening to this extent?
So the volume of scams has certainly increased, I would say exponentially over the past few years, driven largely by advances in technology, use of artificial intelligence, and so forth.
The use of artificial intelligence, how have you seen that play a role in the increasing of scams? Have they become more sophisticated?
Yes, much. So we're seeing artificial intelligence used in scams involving voice cloning, video chat, that kind of thing, to give the scammer the appearance of somebody who might be more palatable as an individual in a romance scam, for example.
Now, a lot of people I know when they become victimized by these scams are embarrassed. So what should you do? What do you tell seniors to do?
So first, don't be embarrassed. This happens to everybody. I've seen people from all walks of life fall for these scams. The scammers are very sophisticated. They're professional. They have whole tech support networks behind them. They know what they're doing. The best thing you can do is talk to a trusted advisor before you send money anywhere. If you're not sure if something is a scam or not, make sure that you're answering your bank's questions truthfully. So if you're coming in to withdraw funds and we know your patterns, we're going to ask you questions if you're transacting out of pattern, and those questions are designed to protect you exactly from these types of scenarios.
If you're a loved one of, somebody who is a senior and perhaps you don't live with them, you're not watching their every move, what can you do to help protect them?
I think keeping in contact with your loved ones to identify any new relationships that might seem out of character for the person, any behaviors that seem suspect, so they're all of a sudden transacting a lot more cash. They're telling you they're buying things like large cash purchases for cars and things like that. That is a common scheme that we see.
And what are some of the biggest red flags for the people on the receiving end of this who are getting the phone calls of somebody who could sound like their grandchild or somebody that they love saying that they need cash right now?
So scammers will try to create a sense of urgency around the situation. So red flags would include someone who doesn't want to let you off the phone, somebody who is trying to tell you that a transaction needs to happen right now, and wants to stay with you on the phone through the entire process, from going to the bank to going to the Bitcoin ATM. That type of latching on and not letting go is a big red flag for scams.
Once you do become a victim of this, do you have any recourse? Is there any chance of getting your money back?
So if you identify that you've been a victim of a scam, minutes matter, right? So recovery is much more likely if you're able to notify your bank immediately of any money that you may have sent out. If you've transacted in any kind of cryptocurrency, then you should be taking all that documentation right to the state police immediately, because the faster you report it, the faster they might be able to trace those funds. And lastly, anybody who's victimized in a scam should file a report with the Internet Crime Complaint Center at ic3.gov. That website is used to get financial cases into the queue for law enforcement to pursue funds, and that's also how they identify scam victims in the event they arrest somebody and recover funds to get those funds back to their rightful owner.
Yeah, so you really do need to act right away when this happens.
Yep.
All right, well, Jared, we know this is a huge topic right now, and a lot of victims have, come forward because of this. So thank you so much for explaining what to do to prevent becoming a victim of this. We appreciate it. And this interview will be posted to our YouTube channel. All you have to do is search NBC 10 WJAR. We also have our full story of the grandparent scam bust in Massachusetts posted to our website at turnto10.com.